Today, I'm excited to tell you my cousin Azure is on to teach us how to make those perfect holiday cookies and icings for you and your family to share. Let's get started. Welcome everybody. Today I have my beautiful cousin with me, Azure. She is a professional chef. You guys have heard me talk about her before many times, about my cousin who's a chef who does everything perfect. And her mom does everything perfect too. Yes. So we all pale in comparison to your perfection. So anyway, today I have the pleasure of having her here with me, and she is going to help us make sugar cookies. Now, first, let me tell you a little story. Our family, we grew up best friends. Like we didn't really have outside friends, did we?
No, we all grew up as a close-knit bunch, same street.
Same. We did not have friends outside of our family. I remember thinking, wait, everybody else has friends and we're just friends. We're cousins. Mm-hmm. So we grew up very close. We grew up on one street where all of our family lived. See, we were the OG family compound.
Yes.
Now people are doing that, but we were the OG. We were the original. My mother was an enormous pastry chef. She was super talented in the kitchen when it came to cooking, baking, and then she worked for us in the restaurant. Then Azure came in my last restaurant, and she kind of took over and really just carried on the magic that my mom taught both of us, and especially her. Yeah. And so Azure just carried on and made a profession out of it, which I absolutely love, because she's literally the hands of my mom. My mom passed away 10 years ago, but she still has all of her recipes, and she still has her perfect touch. So as a family, what I love to do, as you guys know, I talk about this all the time. I absolutely love bringing family together for traditions, for things that we love to do. And so over the years, I have hosted times when the whole family gets together, anybody that can come, and we do Christmas cookies. Yeah. We decorate them and we have fun, and we always make it a contest. Have you noticed that? We always make it a contest. And then it's fun because we see who the competitors are in the family, because everybody's looking at each other. Last year we did a fun thing where we brought all the girls together in the family, and we got the same aprons, and we all baked all day, and that was so much fun. So I want to encourage you to do that with your family. I want to encourage you. Gather your family together. This is another reason to get family together around the holidays and bake some cookies, because those are some of our greatest memories when we just all hung out together. So she's going to teach us how to make the traditional sugar cookie for either giving as gifts, setting out for Santa, giving to your family, just whatever you'd like to do. So we're going to get started. So just to let you know, before we get started, the recipe will be located in the description on the link there. All the information you need will be there.
Okay, so I like this dough because it is very versatile. It rolls out very smooth, and your cookies won't spread. And so I like it because it of the clean cuts, basically. And it's very simple. It's just a quick creaming method. So what you're going to do is you're going to cream 3.5 sticks of butter. The butter can be room temperature, or it can be slightly cold. For this recipe, I typically will take it out of the fridge at least 30 minutes before, just so it stays a little firm. But this is totally fine too. Okay. And so what you're going to do is first you're going to cream the butter and the sugar. So I have a cup of sugar here. Okay. I'm going to add that in. And I typically like to add the vanilla at the same time too. So we're going to
So let's talk about this vanilla.
Yes, this vanilla is a vanilla that we've used in our family for ages. Yeah. When we just grew up on this, it's from Mexico. Yeah. And our family lives down in Del Rio, which is right near the border. Yeah. And this was the vanilla we used, and it's the best vanilla. It's best tasting. It's like a Mexican vanilla. It's the best. It's the only one that we've ever used. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to add a little bit, like maybe a teaspoon and a quarter of a teaspoon. Just kind of eyeball vanilla with your heart.
Do you remember Lita used to just pour things? Lita was our grandmother. That was our, so her dad and my mom are brother and sister, just to kind of give you some context there. And then our grandmother, abuelita in Spanish is how you say grandmother, but Lita, we shortened it, right? We had Lita and Lito, our grandfather and grandmother. But anyway, she used to just pour, échale.
I usually don't use the measuring spoons either. I just usually kind of eyeball it as well. I've even gotten to a point sometimes where I just use the cap. Because it's about a teaspoon as well. So the next thing you want to do is you want to cream the butter and sugar just to make sure that it creams together.
This is my favorite part. I love creaming butter and sugar.
Yeah, you just want to mix it, depending on how soft your butter is, 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 if the butter's really cold. And you want to give it a scrape down the bowl every now and then just to get the butter off of the bottom of the bowl. So while that's mixing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our eggs.
Okay. So, and you just keep it mixing the whole time, right?
Yeah, you can. You just, like I said, you want the butter to get fluffy.
Get fluffy,
cream.
okay.
So your eggs, I usually crack them into a bowl separately just to make sure that I don't add any shell.
Yeah,
or make
I love
sure that the egg is good. And so while that's mixing, I'm just going to lower this a little bit. Just add my eggs in. So I'm just going to give it another quick scrape just to make sure that everything is incorporated.
Okay. And so it's important that you scrape the edges, because I've done this in the past where I go to get the dough out and literally some of the ingredients are still stuck around the bowl, and it's not a really complete recipe, right? Because it's still stuck around the bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to make sure all of your butter is incorporated. And so while this is going...
Okay, but we're going to slow this down before you put the powder in. I mean, the flour. Tell everybody why you're slowing it down before you put the flour.
You want to make sure that you have it on low speed because you don't want the flour to create a big dust cloud everywhere.
Right.
And you want to just make sure that it's incorporated slowly as well. Mostly, too, you just don't want to overmix your dough. You don't want a tough cookie dough. And so in here I have 3 1/4 cups of flour and a good pinch of kosher salt. And this is going to go in, and I'm just going to add it slowly.
Ooh, I love how you're doing that with your fingers.
Well, typically I would use a spatula.
I mean, I think, you know what? I think it's great to do that because you're guiding it in.
You really just want the dough to come together. You don't want to overmix it. And so once you see the flour disappear, you're good to go.
Okay, so now we're going to take the plastic wrap and we're going to do what? Okay.
So what we're going to do is take the dough out. This dough needs to chill for at least 4 hours, if not overnight.
Oh, wow. Okay, overnight. That's good.
And so we're just going to get most of it off.
Tell me why do we have to chill it?
Well, because it needs time to set up. You want to make sure that, I mean, for one, you can't roll it out in this consistency, but but 2, you just want to make sure that the butter has solidified again, so that way when you're rolling out the dough, you have more of a sturdier structure, I guess.
So we're just going to take all of the dough off. And then so also, Azure, let's explain why this is an important paddle to use on your mixer.
Well, this paddle is great, just in general, because it has a rubber side, so it's constantly scraping the side of your bowl for you, clearing off helping you with your scraping, I guess.
Instead of the whisk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Instead of the
whisk. You definitely want to use a paddle for this.
Instead of the whisk, yeah. Okay, so then also I want to encourage everybody, if you're watching this and you're getting motivated and excited, we're coming up on the holidays. I would strongly recommend that you consider putting this on your Christmas list. We're going to put all the details in the description for you so you can go straight to it and get your own, or maybe you can give this to your kids for Christmas as an intention, an initiation to start doing these kind of things together. I love bringing the family together, not just for Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, summer, whatever reason I can come up with. Do you remember when we did the hamburger baking contest?
Yes.
The hamburger making, not baking. And then we did the pie contest with the whole family from England too. I think every wife should have this kind of mixer in her home, and I think it should become an heirloom in your family.
I'm dividing the dough into 2 discs, basically. I'm going to chill it like this, so I'm going to...
Do we need more plastic?
We need more plastic.
Okay, let me go get more plastic. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to take the other half.
Right. So
ooh, what's this little gadgety thing?
This is a bowl scraper.
Oh.
You can use it to scrape out your bowls.
Okay.
It's really good at gathering dough out of a bowl, or even, scraping the flour out if you have a work area here.
Okay, so then we're going to put these in the refrigerator for 4 hours.
Yeah, 4 hours or overnight, whatever, you just want the dough to set up and be a little bit more firm. So these are ready to go in the fridge.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay, so now we have the dough out of the refrigerator. We've had it in about 4 hours, and we're going to start rolling it out.
Yes,
okay.
Correct. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to take half of the dough. I'm going to use my bench scraper and just kind of cut what I'm going to work with.
Or you can use a knife at home, whatever you have.
Yeah. So I'm just going to dust my work surface with some flour. And then what I like about this dough, too, is it can take a good amount of flour, and it won't really make that much of a difference to it. And so
That feels like it's just not going to roll out, but it does.
It will. It will. You just kind of have to work with it. You want to work from
yeah, there it goes.
You want to work from the middle, and you want to just make sure that you constantly are rotating it or moving it. No real rhyme or reason here on what shape you want to. You don't need to roll it into a circle or anything like that. You just want to get it to like an even distribution, I guess. So you're just looking about like 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch and check it. And I like to
You like to put the flour on the end of the cutter.
I like to just dust the cookie cutter a little bit so that way
that's a good idea.
It comes out.
Look how cute that is.
And then you have your little cookie. And then you want to make sure you give them a little space. And then, you can get, I'd say 2 to 3 dozen of cookies out of this size batch of dough that we made, just depending on how big.
2 to 3 dozen cookies we can get out of this. Okay. And, my mom used to say that your hands, the temperature of your hands.
Yeah.
What is it? Because our body temperature is on average 96 degrees,
Yeah.
right? So your hands have a lot of heat. So whenever we'd go out to eat, my mom would get the butter because, of course, those restaurants that don't know etiquette about serving butter, they give you like really cold right out of the refrigerator butter, and it's just like a little piece of rock. And so my mom would put it between her hands and just hold it before she spread it on the bread, and just let it warm up between her hands. She used to always say your hands are like little ovens, so whatever you touch begins to kind of melt down a little bit.
Yeah. You want to always work with your pastry dough quickly and try to not manhandle it as often.
So I just want to encourage you guys watching. Like I told you earlier, this is something so fun. It's an intention, which is what you're going to hear me say over and over and over again. I want you to create an intention to bring your family together. And even if you're in a place and you might be single, you might be living out of town, you might think, I don't really have a whole lot of family around, gather a few friends and create a date, set a date, put it on your calendar, send out a group text or mail an invitation. I always like to create a little invitation and text that out. But then also, if you don't have friends and you don't have family, do it for yourself. Like literally go to the grocery store, get all the ingredients, make these for yourself, decorate them for yourself. One of my traditions was when I needed to wrap the kids' Christmas presents, and I didn't want them obviously to see what I was wrapping, I would put on Elf with Will Ferrell, which is my classic favorite movie. And I would order myself a pizza, make some hot chocolate, and wrap presents with Elf playing in the background. So if you are someone who's thinking, I'm all by myself this year, that's okay. Do something for yourself. You don't have to have tons of people around you in order to celebrate something. You can actually celebrate by yourself, and you can love on yourself, because when you're happy and you're fulfilled, you are full of hope, and hope attracts more of the same. It attracts more friends, it attracts more family. So I always recommend just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, and then they'll bake it in the oven 350 for 10 to 12 minutes.
And
just till they're golden brown around the edges.
Let me say, my oven can be a little bit janky at times. So make sure that if it says, she just said 10 to 12 minutes, put your timer on at 8 minutes and just have a peek in the oven and see what it looks like. Then come back and check it at 10 minutes, because sometimes your oven is calibrated differently.
Yeah.
And you might have little, charcoal things.
Yeah.
Charcoal Santas.
You can always invest in an oven thermometer that hangs in there and will always maintain, keep your temperature, or the actual temperature of what your oven is running at. So
that's good.
Just a little tip.
And then we're going to show you how to make the icing for all of your friends and family to decorate the cookies that we're going to make. All right, so now let's make the icing, because now let me tell everybody watching, don't flip out. You can go buy icing. Is a can icing okay?
Sure.
And then just the drops of food coloring and make your own colors. And
yeah, they sell the white icing in the can. That's totally fine for this purpose. And you can use the food colorings to color, red, green, whatever Christmas festive colors you'd like. And today, actually, we're going to just make a simple buttercream, a vanilla buttercream.
which I love.
Which for, decorating cookies with the family is great. We're not all professional decorators that use the royal icing and the flooding and all that stuff. So
which I wish I could do that. Let's take a class and do it together.
I mean, that's great and all. It makes the cookies look beautiful. But I think just for our family, I think the joy and the fun will be good with just a nice buttercream. So we're going to show you how to make that today. So this is just a straight straightforward, real simple recipe. We're going to take 2 sticks of butter.
And this doesn't even look like a stick. Look how short it is and kind of squatty. And so we had to double check and be like, wait, that is a stick.
Yeah.
So just 1 normal stick of butter, right?
This is 2 sticks.
No, I'm just saying like this is just a normal
that's
stick.
just one
Because
normal
that looks
stick.
like a half stick almost.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Okay, I'll put
earlier
that
as
away.
well. And you just want to let that get a little fluffy. I'm just going to add a little vanilla.
Okay.
Usually 1 or 2 teaspoons is fine. You want this to be a vanilla flavored buttercream. So we're just going to let that cream. And the butter's really nice and soft, so this is going to go really quick. I have 4 cups of powdered sugar here that I'm just going to add in gradually until I get the consistency that I want. And I have milk here. I'm going to add a tablespoon or 2 just to help get the spreading consistency that I want.
Okay, so you're just putting a little bit at a time
Right.
with the butter and the vanilla.
Right. I'm just kind of letting the powdered sugar incorporate. I'm going to add about 2 cups.
Okay.
And then I'll probably give it a scrape just to help the powdered sugar incorporate a little bit into the butter.
And now tell everybody, let's pretend that, oh, the cookies are ready.
Cookies are ready.
Let me go get them. Hold on.
Just make sure they're golden brown. If they're not, maybe give them another minute.
No, they're not golden brown.
Okay, just a little golden brown around the edges. Maybe give them like 2 more minutes.
Okay. Look how beautiful that looks. And we didn't even put the milk yet. Okay, so we're putting the milk so we can loosen it up just a little bit, right?
Yeah, and then you just want to let it whip for a little bit just till it kind of gets nice and fluffy.
Look how beautiful that looks.
Smooth.
I love it. Yeah, that's really nice. It's so silky beautiful.
Yeah, it was really nice. It really makes a difference if when your butter's set out at room temperature. If it was still kind of cold, we would still be here mixing it for quite some time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the butter was really cold.
Yeah, you just want to get it really nice and smooth and workable.
Okay. Okay, look at how beautiful these look. This is how you know they're done, right? Because they have that beautiful, tiny little browned edge around. Mm-hmm. And then how long will I leave them to cool? I'm going to put them on a cookie rack, right?
Yeah. Just let them sit on the tray there for about a minute or so, and then you can transfer them to a cooling rack.
Okay, so we've already done the green. We're going to do the red. I'd like for you to show everybody how to change the color of the icing.
Sure. So you're just going to use whatever food coloring you have on hand. This is totally fine. You can find it in the grocery store, most grocery stores, or you can also find like the nice gel food coloring in most craft stores or cake supply stores. Yeah, so you just...
Ooh, that's even a nice pink.
Yeah, it's a nice...
This is the year of the pink for me.
Of course.
The pink everything. So we're going to start decorating now. So what you're going to do, you have an actual decorating knife, right? I'm going to just...
Well, I have a palette knife.
I'm just going to use a butter knife. And we're just going to start...
I mean, really, you just want to play. You don't necessarily need piping bags or tips. If your family's here, you just want to just have a good time and, go for it. And the buttercream is nice because it spreads easily. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially when your kids are here,
This is so something you can do with even your littles. I loved having my kids with my mom, and we would just sit and play. And they'd do the cutest little designs because their little imagination just goes crazy. This is the fun we have when we all get together as a family, is we just sit and we all decorate all our different ideas. And it is crazy to see the different personality styles come out.
Yes.
So I'm going to just take this shimmering white sugar, and I'm going to reinforce the white. Look how cute that is. And then I'm going to reinforce the red. And then you could also get little tiny beads of all different colors if you wanted to do the eyes and the mouth and all that. But I just like that little symbol. Isn't that so cute?
Just all about being creative and just having fun with it. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Look how cute. So y'all, seriously, just go for it. This is my favorite part of baking. By the time I'm done baking for the day, I'm like, what do I have? I have icing all over my face. Y'all, this is my favorite. This just takes me back to childhood. Mm-hmm. Okay, friends, we are all done. We are done. We're gonna put these out on some beautiful plates for our family to enjoy. I wanna also thank my beautiful cousin Azure for being here with us. You guys, she's gonna be a regular with me on this show, and I'm so excited because she brings a whole new level. We like to elevate. So she's elevating our style with bringing some really cool techniques and tools for you to enjoy. In the comments below, let me know what you're gonna do this season for your family and for your friends. And remember, everything that you need is already within you.